everyone, Yankees fans, we got a lot to cover today about what's going on with the New York Yankees. The team just made a surprising move that nobody really expected, especially when it comes to a player they've been watching closely for quite some time now. As we get closer to the MLB trade deadline, the rumors and speculation are heating up, and the Yankees are starting to reveal their strategy for the near future. Brian Cashman, the Yankees general manager, has always been known for making smart, sometimes bold moves at a deadline. But this time, it's not exactly a trade announcement. Instead, there's been an important update about the Yankees roster and what direction they might be taking. And it's definitely catching a lot of fans off guard. For a while now, the Yankees have shown interest in a few key players around the league. But one name that has stuck out for years is Ryan McMahon from the Colorado Rockies. McMahon is a versatile infielder who has been linked to trade rumors for what feels like ages. The Rockies, unfortunately, have been struggling hard this season and seem to be heading toward one of the worst campaigns in MLB history. Despite having a great stadium and a passionate fan base, the team has done very little to improve the roster and is just putting out losing squads that leave fans with very little hope. Ryan McMahon has a few years left on his contract, but with the Rockies in such a rough spot, it seems like the logical move would be to trade him and get some value in return before he becomes a free agent. Recently, news surfaced that several teams, including the Chicago Cubs and Los Angeles Dodgers, are closely watching McMahon in case the Rockies decide to trade him during the summer. But here's the twist. It looks like the Yankees are stepping back and might pass on pursuing him. Even though the team has been interested in McMahon for quite a while, Brian Cashman seems to have lost enthusiasm for this move. And there are a few reasons behind that. One major factor is McMahon's performance this season. His batting average is barely above the Mendoza line at 206, with just 6 home runs and 11 runs batted in over 155 at-bats. His slugging percentage and on-base plus slugging metrics aren't impressive either, which raises questions about whether he can be a consistent offensive contributor for the Yankees. To add to that, he bats left-handed, and the Yankees are currently looking for a right-handed hitter to balance their lineup better. Defensively, McMahon is valuable because he can play multiple infield positions except shortstop, mostly third base, but also some second base and even first base when needed. That versatility is something teams love, especially for a player who can provide a left-handed bat. However, the Yankees' current roster already has plenty of lefties, so adding McMahon wouldn't solve the problem of needing a right-handed bat. Another concern with McMahon's numbers is how he performs on the road compared to playing at Coors Field, the Rockies' home stadium, known for its hitter-friendly conditions. His away stats are pretty poor, which raises the possibility that he might be a Coors Field specialist. For example, his batting average away from Colorado is just 156, with an on-base percentage around 262, and an OPS barely cracking 500. That kind of split makes it harder for the Yankees to justify investing in him, especially considering the price tag. Speaking of which, McMahon's contract is also a big factor. He's earning $16 million a year through the 2027 season, and after that he'll become an unrestricted free agent, able to sign with any team. The Yankees have made it clear they don't want to add any significant salary commitments right now, especially with some other contracts that are weighing on the payroll. One of those contracts is DJ LeMahieu's. Despite a rocky previous season plagued by injuries, LeMahieu has started this year showing some signs of life. In the first series alone, he managed to hit over 300 with a home run and some solid offensive metrics. Of course, it's a very small sample size, and no one is ready to declare him back to form just yet, but the Yankees are clearly going to keep relying on him as long as he's healthy and productive. LeMahieu is an incredibly versatile defender, able to play multiple infield positions, and he's likely going to spend some time at second base now, especially since Isaiah Kiner Falefa, Jazz Chisholm, is out with an oblique injury. That injury is expected to keep Jazz sidelined for several weeks, which has forced the team to lean more on LeMahieu and other players to fill the gaps. Speaking of Jazz, he hasn't had the best season so far, batting just 181, and his OPS is just below average. Still, there's confidence that once he returns from injury, he can get back on track and contribute more consistently. For now, the Yankees are figuring out how to manage their infield with these injuries. And performance issues. The team has even considered moving Ben Rortvedt to third base to see if he can handle it. He's a right-handed thrower with a strong arm, which makes the experiment interesting, but there's always a risk when changing a player's position, especially if they're doing well where they are. So the Yankees will have to weigh those options carefully. All in all, the takeaway here is that the Yankees are not interested in pursuing Ryan McMahon anymore, at least for this season. Even though he seemed like a logical fit at one point, the combination of his current stats, contract, handiness, and the Yankees' financial situation has pushed them to look elsewhere. Instead, the team is focused on finding a right-handed hitter who can stabilize the infield and provide some consistent production. LeMahieu might fill that role for now, but the Yankees will likely keep searching and making moves before the trade deadline to improve the roster. The big picture is that the Yankees are still competing and winning games, and that's what matters most at the end of the day. The decisions they make over the next few weeks will shape the rest of the season, but for now, it looks like McMahon is off the table. Now, with McMahon off the table, the Yankees have to figure out what their next steps are in shoring up that infield. The biggest challenge is that the team clearly needs more production from the right side of the plate, especially at third base, where consistency has been hard to come by. DJ LeMahieu has been a reliable option when healthy, but his track record is littered with injuries, which makes it risky to lean on him exclusively. Last season, for instance, he missed a significant chunk of time and struggled with his batting, average and overall offensive output. This year's early signs are promising, but as any fan knows, one series is hardly enough to call it a comeback. Another layer to the Yankees puzzle is the injury situation with Jazz Chisholm. Jazz has shown flashes of brilliance in his career and brings a dynamic presence to the infield with his speed and athleticism. However, his oblique injury is a serious setback, especially since it could keep him sidelined for anywhere between 3 to 5 weeks. That timeline means the Yankees need to adjust their roster and find someone to fill the void in the meantime. The versatility of players like LeMahieu and even some of the younger talent on the roster becomes incredibly important during stretches like this. There's been talk internally about experimenting with Ben Rortvedt at third base. While Rortvedt is primarily known as a catcher, his right-handed throwing arm and defensive skills make the idea intriguing. If he can handle the hot corner defensively, it could solve multiple problems at once, giving the team flexibility in the field while preserving depth behind the plate. But moving a catcher to third base isn't without its risks. It's a big adjustment, and the Yankees wouldn't want to disrupt the development or rhythm of a player who's already contributing. It's a delicate balance between trying new things and maintaining stability. Jazz Chisholm's ability to play multiple positions also helps ease the pressure. He's the kind of player who can slot into second base, shortstop, third base, or even the outfield when needed. This flexibility is a huge asset, especially for a team dealing with injuries and trying to navigate the grind of a long season. But the key question remains: how soon will Jazz be back at full strength? And once he returns, will he regain his form quickly enough to make a significant impact? Down the stretch? Looking beyond the infield, the Yankees have some other roster concerns and questions to address. The team is known for making big moves around the trade deadline, and although McMahon isn't the target anymore, there's no doubt they will be active in seeking upgrades. Whether it's adding a power bat, strengthening the bullpen, or shoring up the defense, Brian Cashman will be exploring every option. The Yankees don't shy away from taking risks when it comes to improving their chances of making a deep postseason run, and this year should be no different. Financial considerations also play a major role in shaping these decisions. The Yankees operate under a payroll system that requires careful management of contracts and budgets. With some high-profile deals already on the books like LeMahieu's and others, the front office is cautious about adding more long-term commitments or expensive players midseason. They want to maintain flexibility while still putting together a competitive team, which is a tough balancing act in today's baseball environment. Despite the challenges, the Yankees' position isn't hopeless. The core of the team remains strong, with talented players capable of stepping up. Aaron Boone and the coaching staff are clearly committed to finding the right combinations on the field to maximize performance. Young players are getting opportunities to prove themselves, and veterans are expected to provide leadership and consistency. It's a mix that can work if managed well, and the team's success over the last few weeks shows there's potential to build on. It's also worth noting that the Yankees have shown patience with some players who have struggled at times. They understand that baseball is a long season with ups and downs, and they're willing to give guys a chance to work through slumps or adjust after injuries. LeMahieu's situation is a perfect example. Even though he had a rough previous season, the Yankees are not ready to give up on him just yet. They're hoping he can return to the level that made him an all-star and a key contributor. Looking forward, the next few weeks will be critical for the Yankees. How they handle the trade deadline, how quickly injured players return, and how young players develop will all factor into their chances of making the playoffs. There's a sense of urgency, but also confidence that the team can rise to the occasion. It's a familiar position for New York, a franchise that has seen both highs and lows in recent years, but always remains focused on contending. For fans, it's a waiting game filled with hope and anticipation. The trade deadline will bring news, headlines, and possibly some big names joining the team. Injuries will hopefully heal, and players will find their rhythm. The Yankees have the talent and the history of success to believe in, even when the path isn't perfectly clear. And with every game, the stakes get higher, making every at-bat, every pitch, and every defensive play feel that much more important. So while Ryan McMahon might no longer be part of the equation, the Yankees' story this season is far from over. The front office is working behind the scenes, the players are grinding it out on the field, and the fans are eagerly watching every move. The dynamic nature of baseball means things can change quickly. A hot streak, a key trade, or a player returning from injury could shift the narrative dramatically. In the meantime, the Yankees will keep pushing forward with the pieces they have. They'll rely on versatility, experience, and a bit of that classic New York resilience that has defined the franchise for over a century. It's a challenging situation, no doubt, but one filled with opportunities for growth and success. The season progresses. Every decision will matter, and every player will be under the microscope. The pressure is high, but that's part of what makes being a Yankees fan so exciting. This team has a tradition of overcoming adversity and rising to the moment, and this year feels no different. The next chapter in their journey is just beginning, and the fans are ready to see what unfolds. But before we continue, please remember to join our channel and give this video a like. Your support allows us to keep bringing you the latest news about the New York Yankees. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments. In a surprising twist to the offseason narrative, rumors are swirling that star pitcher Max Fried parted ways with the New York Yankees after feeling underappreciated and underutilized by the organization. Though no official statement has been released by Fried or his representatives, multiple sources close to the situation suggest that the left-hander grew increasingly frustrated with how he was being used by the coaching staff. Fried, known for his precision on the mound and calm demeanor under pressure, was expected to be a crucial part of the Yankees' rotation. However, insiders claim that the team failed to give him consistent opportunities to showcase his abilities. Despite showing flashes of brilliance during his appearances, Fried was reportedly shuffled in and out of roles, often sidelined in key games or used in situations that didn't align with his strengths. The tension allegedly reached a boiling point late in the season when Fried was left out of a crucial series despite being fully fit. That decision, sources say, was a turning point for the pitcher. While the Yankees remain silent on the matter, Fried's inner circle is said to have been pushing for a move, believing that the player's talent was being wasted. This development has sparked debate among fans and analysts, many of whom had seen Fried as a long-term asset for the Yankees. His departure, if confirmed, would be a significant blow to the team's pitching depth. For Fried, however, the move could offer a much-needed fresh start with a franchise more willing to build around his elite skill set. As speculation continues, attention now turns to where Fried might land next. Teams across the league are reportedly monitoring the situation closely, with several contenders expressing interest. Wherever he goes, it's clear that Fried is determined to prove his worth and remind the baseball world why he's considered one of the best left-handers in the Game, that's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the New York Yankees, please subscribe to our channel and give us a like. We always appreciate your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.